This week, we're gonna do back-to-back thrift days at the same exact 2 stores to see if we can find anything new or fun. Let's get into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Lindsay. We're headed in thrifting today. I am in the Christmas mood, so you're gonna see me grab some Christmas items today. I'm hoping that there are tons that we can find. I do have a Whatnot show coming up for Christmas items, so if you haven't checked out Whatnot, check it out down below for a free $15 when you first sign up. So that means you just pay for shipping. If you buy something for $15 or less, it's amazing. I'm super excited to get into thrift today. I don't know what I'm gonna find. I might stop in and look at clothes. We'll see. I've been in the mood to look at clothes. It's just sizing is super strange at the thrift store because like things have been worn, so they've been washed, so they either run small or big. You never know. So I really want to give clothing a try. We'll see if I dabble in these today. Let me know down below what's on your thrift list. I know that I'm on the hunt for Christmas items and toys for my kids because I just love toys. And then just whatever speaks to me, you know, the thrift store has a way of doing that. So we're gonna get in there and see what we can find. I'll give you a haul at the end of the video of everything that I bought. So let's get inside and get started. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you inside. This is definitely one of my favorite parts of the week, getting to go to the thrift store. So we're gonna head in for 2 days in a row and see if we can find some new finds. So let's get in here and see what we can find. We always start off in the book section. They have a lot of books here and their books are, I think, 25 cents a piece. I always stop off to see if I see anything new because books are super fun for my kids and I just like to read them books. So I always check off to see if there's anything new that I want to grab for their bookshelves. They also have some VHSs, DVDs, and CDs back here. We aren't in need of those things, but I do like to look because it's kind of fun. Like this, for example, the full set of Full House. Are you kidding? I was checking to see if they were all there because I thought it would be a fun Christmas white elephant gift, but they weren't all there. But I just love that that was available to purchase. But I always stop off just in case I see something to fill my kids' bookshelves. This front section of this store is always filled with lots of holiday items, so whatever the holiday is, they have items to fill it up. Right now, obviously, it's Christmas, and they have lots of little fun finds, so I always look to see if anything catches my eye. Lots of little cute girl outfits, so I didn't grab anything today. I was actually tempted by this little picnic basket container. It had the cups up at the top, but it was missing the plates and had some of the cutlery. I thought it was super cute. It was $15 and it would be cute to display but also to use. I saw this heart shelf and I regret not picking it up, you guys. It's pink and it would look adorable in my daughter's room. I ended up grabbing it. I think it was only $3, but at the end of the day I put it back, I think because I wasn't buying very much and I didn't want to leave it in my car for my husband to get mad. But I definitely regret not purchasing that. Nothing new in the plates and silverware and cups, but I always check it out. I wanted to see what was on this little tall shelf. Nothing new for me today, but I always like to check. This section's always kind of random, and the glassware usually is older things that I just don't need. There's not really a set of them or just items I'm not really in the market for. I will say these glasses were gorgeous. I think these went with that Lenox set I showed you guys a couple weeks back. Just super pretty. They had different shapes, so I'm not sure where the other ones are. But $3 a glass is not too bad when you're thinking how expensive they probably cost in the big box store. This store has a random baby gear section, so I always stop off because there might be items I need for my son. Nothing really spoke to me today, but there were some good items like a Mamaroo, stand-up table toy, a baby gym. Like, these are all items that you use for a short amount of time, so buying them at the thrift store just makes sense. The mugs were 50% off today. I always take a peek at the mugs anyways, but I'm extra looking today because 50% off is a great deal when they're only 50 cents usually. I saw these Christmas ones and there was a set of 6 of them. They were Gibson. I didn't really need them, but they were cute. And also, what is this spelling? Rex? I don't know. Super random. I saw this Cardinal one. It was also by Gibson. Super cute. I did grab it for just 25 cents. I could sell it on my Whatnot show or use it in my house. These milk glass ones were $2 a piece. Ended up only being $1 a piece, so I did grab them because they were super sturdy. And then on this side, there were a couple other Christmas ones that I had my eyes on. Kind of vintagey, so I did look over here to see if I found anything new. Those yellow gingham ones were adorable. This little stoneware one was adorable. Oh, so cute. always like to take a peek because you never know what you're going to find. Went over to this houseware section. They had some lights for your house, a little wine holder, lots of Easter baskets, which I thought was kind of random. I guess someone got rid of their collection. Then I was about to go on, but this bookend caught my eye. It's super cute. There was only one of them, unfortunately, but that could still be cute on a hutch. That basket was also cute, so I had to come back and look at it. Just $4. Over in this little tchotchke section, there was honestly not a lot of items today, but I always look because I found some really, really cute duck things and just some really cute like cherished teddies. Honestly, I was not impressed today. This said $12 and I was like, that's insane. I did a Google Lens on it and it's obviously not worth $12, but I flipped it over on the bottom later and it was just $3. Someone had placed that there. I thought this picture book was adorable. It says a grandma's house. It's super vintage. It had nothing in it, so it could be yours to fill. Then I went over to the purses. Nothing was speaking to me today, but I do like to look for Vera Bradley, so that was a little fun find right there. In the kids' jackets, some of these jackets have been here for a really long time. The shelf is starting to get piled up. I saw this bear and I thought it was an interesting find. It was honestly massive, probably like 18 to 20 inches tall. Also, this elephant, I think someone got rid of their zoo collection because there were so many. They had pretty steep prices on them. I think anywhere from $15 to $20, but I bet you $10 these will not be here tomorrow, so we'll see. These little salt and pepper shakers caught my eye and they're adorable. I did end up bringing them home with me because they were just 75 cents a piece. I do think this store could use a little help in the organizing department. I think items would sell faster if people didn't have to like go through them as much. I saw that there's a crib in the back. I'm interested to see if that's there tomorrow. And they had lots of Christmas items. Thought this was funny. 79 cents at Big Lots, but it was $1 here. They have some fun tins. Honestly, I wish I would have got that Christmas one. I love this poinsettia one. Only $1, so it did catch my eye. It'd be really cute as a riser on a hutch. I always stop off and look at the linens. This looked like it was a curtain set. I honestly love when it tells you exactly what it is so you don't pull it all the way out and then get sad because it's a sheet set and you're looking for curtains. Thought this was a cutie little find at the thrift store and I like the print. Like I said, the store's random. There's a whole nother section back here of Christmas mugs. I found some vintage ones that I thought were cute. Some of them were made in Thailand, some of them were made in China, but they were only 25 cents today, so I thought it would be fun to pick them up. I thought this one was super gorgeous, the pink candy cane, but I went more the nostalgic Christmas route. I like the ones that are like kind of with this print, the red and green, very Christmassy and vintagey. I did grab a couple of these at only 25 cents a piece. If I used them one time and brought them back to the thrift store, I'd be fine with it, but I thought they'd be cute on my hut or they would sell in a whatnot show. This toy was super cool, I thought. It was a Hot Wheels table and that was a retro kitchen. I would be shocked if they lasted a week. These toys were just everywhere, y'all. Today was insane for toys. I just left it because it became too stressful to think about. I went to a second store. This was the Salvation Army. I always like to stop into both very quickly over my lunch break some days, so we're just popping in to see if we see anything new. In the shoes, I was not very excited about any of the finds, but I like to pop off just to see, just in case, because you never know. They have these tables, this elliptical. I am going to show you guys a haul at the end, so stay tuned. I thought this was funny that a ribbon, but it was just like a tiny amount of ribbon and it was like $1, which is funny. They had some printer ink. The shelves were looking a little bare in my opinion. Back here in the kitchen section, I was just going to see if I saw anything exciting, but honestly, nothing caught my eye. And I thought that was Tupperware maybe, but I think it was Sterilite. The plates were just kind of all over the place and messy, so I did not grab anything in this department today. Sometimes I think I'm done and I'm not, and then I saw this candy dish. It was super pretty. It's clear glass, so it's not that exciting, but it was only $2 and honestly, just super pretty. I didn't pick it up, but I just put it out so that someone else could see it because it was on the shelf kind of tucked and I wanted someone else to see it and grab it and it could find a new home. This was an interesting piece right here. I'm not really sure what it was supposed to depict. It ended up being $4 and not knowing what it was, I definitely left it behind. Going more over to the tchotchke slash craft section, I wanted to see if there was any fun finds. I did find this toy, and fun fact, Salvation Army does not sell toys. They have a free toy bin in the front, but they don't actually sell them, so that's interesting. Thought that Rub-a-Dub-Dub was kind of cute for a bathroom, and I was just peeking through the wall art to see if I saw anything that would caught my eye, and I didn't. Again, this is like one of the things I'm looking for always is Vera Bradley. That was a super fun print, but it was $8, so I did leave it behind. I did stop off in the clothes today, and I saw this vintage like overcoat, super pretty. I really liked this vest. It ended up being like an extra small and not my size, so I was super sad. Only $2.99, but super adorable. I wish it was my size. I went off and looked at some more items. I think that I would really enjoy thrifting clothes because I don't thrift them as much because I don't really know what to look for, and some of the items are just kind of random and super worn, so you have to have a lot of time, and unfortunately me, going thrifting over lunch break doesn't give me a lot of time to look at clothes. And if I go thrifting like after work with my children, there's no way they're gonna let me look at clothes. So I like to pop off and look every once in a while to see what kind of finds we can see. They had a lot of good long sleeve options, just like you saw that it was super stained, and I just don't really want to have to deal with that. I continue to look though because you literally never know what you're gonna find, and look how cool this jacket is. So sweet. It would be so cute for Valentine's Day as like an overcoat. Loved it a lot. It ended up not being my size, and I had to leave it behind, but it was just super pretty and super cute, and I think it was only $4.99. Blue tags were 50% off, so I went to find a couple. These would have been half price, a couple different dress options. Honestly, there are some dresses usually that I would pick up, but I just didn't see anything today, and I wasn't in the mood / didn't have a lot of time, so I'll stop in another time and do a wardrobe refresh at the thrift store. Today's just not that day. But I am excited to come back tomorrow and see if there's anything fun and fresh for a new day at the thrift store. We're headed in for day 2 at the thrift store to see what we can find. I found a couple of items yesterday. I'll do a haul for everything I got at the end of the video, so stay tuned. I'm just excited to see if they have anything new or different. Every day they get new items, and they price them pretty quickly and get them out. So we're gonna see what's new on the floor today. Hopefully there's some new items because I grabbed a couple of goodies yesterday, but I'd like to grab some more. So let's get inside and see what we can find. Day 2 at the first location. Always going in and going straight to the right to the book section. I didn't see a whole lot of new items in here today, but it was a little bit more messy, so someone had definitely come through and looked through all the items. I just like to go really quickly just to see if there are any new fun books for my kids or for me or for my shelves. So quick stop in here today. Nothing new, too exciting, so we're gonna head off to the other sections of the thrift store. Looks like a few of the Christmas items were sold. I think a pair of PJs and that dress. This little sweater is cute. It's just not really my style for my son, but there was a Christmas dress hanging on the sale sign that's definitely gone. So it's super fun to see that someone found something exciting for them. Over here, nothing really new, but I always like to look just in case. I like that instead of taking paper to the landfill, they have half-used paper here for you to purchase, so that's something to think about if you are on a budget or you just want to save items from the landfill. I thought this was really pretty, and I didn't see it yesterday. $6, and I did find the matching set to it a little bit later, so we will see that. This picture was $6, and it had lots of crazing, but you know, that's just vintage character. I went over and I saw these hand-painted wine glasses with the poinsettias. Super pretty. Someone will love to have those, so I'm super excited for them to find it. They're just not for me. Took a little peek in the clothes. Honestly, this store is even worse than the other store for clothes. Items are just like older and a little bit more gross here. I don't know why I say it like that because obviously you can wash things, but they just have like way more out of date style and not things that are like trendy here. But I did look because you never know, but I did not see anything today. Except for maybe this Christmas shirt. Even though I did leave it behind, it was cute and I could have grabbed it. Not a lot of hugely new items in this section of the thrift store. I was intrigued to see what was in this box, but it ended up being nothing, just a silverware box that someone had donated on by itself. The plates were looking about the same as usual, nothing new, nothing exciting, no new sets, but I did think those were super adorable for fall. So sometimes I go on the same exact route through the thrift store, and then sometimes I do a backwards route. This would be probably my typical route. I start in the plates and then move over to this little home kitchen section and then over to the glassware. There was nothing again today in this section that was catching my eye, and definitely nothing that was a need, but I always like to stop off because it's just super fun to see if there's anything new and to see all the items that you could have missed. The mugs were no longer 50% off, so I'm glad that I grabbed the couple that I did, which you'll see at the end of the video in the haul. But I always just peek just to see if I missed anything. Nothing is super exciting, but I did grab some earlier in the week, so you can check those out. This little tchotchke section was looking about the same, but I did take a closer peek at some items today, like this little fella with the little dog in his basket. He was $3 and just adorable. And then I walked over here and I saw this little Christmas bell, and I wanted to check it out. I was seeing if it was like super vintage. It was adorable, and I did leave it behind, but I thought it was super cute, and it did ring. Earlier, I said we found the second piece to that vase, and this is that item right here. It's very, very old. It's just really not my style, but I love when you see items in two different sections of the thrift store. I usually put them together and marry them, but these were like super far off, and the front section is like supposed to be high dollar. There was a Vera Bradley today that was different from yesterday, but one of the bags ended up being gone that was here. I was going to check on it. It was that Vera Bradley backpack, but that's just how it works. Over in the clothes, I did see a couple Hannah Anderson items, but I was not really thrilled with the new items they had put out. I did take a quick peek, but I did move on pretty quickly. They had added some new Halloween items. This was filmed before Halloween, so they had a lot of them, and I thought this was cute for my daughter. I did end up leaving it behind because it wasn't the right size, but it was super cute, and I like to grab these for her to dress up at home in. It made sense that toys were 50% off today because there was literally so many of them, like so many I couldn't even stop and look. It was stressing me out, but I did do like a quick overview. They had a lot of stuffies, which is not really my thing. We always collect a lot of them because there's one store that gives you a stuffy for free every time you go. But I do like to look through and see if there's any little people or items that my daughter collects or anything like that. But nothing unfortunately caught my eye today. Even though they had a ton of things, there was nothing that we really needed. I know I didn't show the shoes yesterday, but none of these shoes are new from the ones they had yesterday, and I dropped that one. But I was just checking prices to see what they had them listed for. These ones are super cute, but we're going into fall, so I'm not obsessed with them, or I would collect them for the future. These were just $2 for a pair of Nikes, but they were kind of used a lot, so I like to be careful with what kind of shoes I buy at the thrift. Back on this table was where that big bear was yesterday, and like I thought, it was definitely gone today. I knew someone would snatch that up pretty quickly just because it is a very big item that you would pay a lot for in a big box store, and some people are collectors of items like that. The elephants were still there, but I'm sure they'll be gone pretty quickly as well. This section did not have a lot of new items. I don't really understand why they have some books back here and some in the front, so that's beyond me because these ones are priced a little bit more, and I'm not sure why because, again, they're just books or coloring books or self-help books. This store had a boatload of that like mesh crafter stuff. So if you're a crafter, definitely check out the thrift stores because they usually have quite a few items that are super expensive in like Michael's and Joann's and stuff like that. These items were new. I don't remember seeing them yesterday. They had a couple new trees, but nothing I really needed to grab. This was crazy. All of that was insane. In the second store, we're stopping off. They still have this big frame right here. A couple new pictures I saw today that I didn't see yesterday, but nothing really for me or anything that caught my eye in the frame section. And this is what I'm talking about when I go backwards sometimes. Like you can see, I usually go the other way in this frame section. But I feel like it helps me see items that I didn't see before maybe. These bowls are super nostalgic for me. My aunt always had them and we ate cereal out of them at her house. She always got her bowls from the thrift store and those were some of the ones we always used. The candy dish was still here, unfortunately. Someone's going to pick it up soon because it's just super pretty. In that tower, that a couple other Christmas items added, but nothing super exciting for us. Like I said, this was filmed right before Halloween, and for some reason, the store got a whole bunch of Halloween stuff out like 2 days before, and they had it priced honestly rather high, especially for having so much of it. But they did drop the prices pretty quickly. I'm not really sure where they got it from or why they got it so late, or if maybe they just forgot about it and they took it out at the last minute. But they definitely had some pumpkin carving kits, some really cute pumpkin decorations. But just keep your eye out at the thrift store for these items because literally they're always there and you never have to buy Halloween or seasonal items full price. This furniture ended up being new, those two couches and this big old dresser. It was really nice wood and I'm always on the hunt for new furniture, but I did leave it behind even though both of the pieces together were only $99. That's insane. Like I said, going backwards sometimes helps me see new items. I didn't see anything new in these couple of sections here, but it does help me refocus my attention, I feel like. So I went back and started looking at the shoes. This is usually the first section I go to. Nothing really that I need here today, but I do like to stop off and look. In the front, see the sign for blue tags 50% off, and this trick or treat sign was adorable, but I just didn't need it, and it was like one day before Halloween, so I didn't pick it up. I saw these ears though. They were from the Disney parks, which is pretty amazing, and they were pretty affordable, so I did grab them today. We'll do a haul of everything I grabbed at the end of the video, because Disney ears are not just for Halloween, they're for any time of year. Another quick stop looking at the clothes. They had just pulled out a new rack, so I was like, maybe there's something on here that will catch my eye. You never know. I did take a quick peek to see if anything was very exciting for me. I didn't find anything, but I did like that flannel shirt. So there are items here. I just have to take a lot of time and look. I did look over here. They had more Halloween costumes, but now they were for dogs, which was super funny. They had a lot like leading up to Halloween, so maybe people will grab them for next year. And in the purse department, nothing really caught my eye again, but that purse I was looking at yesterday was gone, so that's interesting to think about. That's all for today. Let's head to the car for a haul. All right, out of 2 days, I got a couple of items. In the Salvation Army, I got these for my daughter. She's going to stinking love them. They were $1.99 and she's obsessed with Minnie Mouse, unicorns. You know how little girls are. They just are like that. Yesterday at my local area thrift store, I got some items. I was going to show you guys those. I got 4 different mugs. They're just Christmassy, cute little vintage Christmassy mugs. I did get 4 of them because I wanted lower items to start on my Whatnot show. So again, they're cute. And if no one purchases them, I'm thinking of having a Christmas party with my daughter's friends. So that'll be fun. So I have 4 of those. I got 1 more mug. It's a little bit nicer. And then I got 2 of these milk glass mugs. It says Termo Crisp. Oh no, they're just really nice. So I grabbed those. I think I spent a total of $6 in the store yesterday, and then I spent $2 today. So here's the other bigger mug. Another item. Oh, these salt and pepper shakers. Super pretty, super cute. So yeah, pretty good deals today. Nothing crazy, nothing too exciting. Sometimes the thrift store is like not that exciting just because they don't have a lot of nice items. But I did get some items that I liked, enjoyed, and some I can sell on my Whatnot, so I'm excited about that. Let me know what you found this week at the thrift store. I really want some vintage stockings. I'm on the hunt, so if you find some, let me know. I just want to know. I just want to be excited for someone else so that I can have those good vibes too. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button and you subscribe, and you come back next week for a new video. Talk to you later. Bye.